Mister, I want your permission to give a tribute to your mom. I know Kim's here now. He's not here. Kim and Esther were like 5 and 6 years old when they visited us in El Salvador. And their mom, Amanda, had, I don't know what you call it, it's wooden, it's a paddle, but it had, this rubber band with a ball on the end. If you go like this, missing the ball and the rubber band. Kim had a place on his body that served the same thing. I've told Kim more than once, the man you are today is because of your mom's wooden paddle. You didn't hide it, it was laying right out open. And so that's a tribute to the man that Kim is doing. The other is, you were talking about so many coming. How do you think the first ones came? So I'm going to just read a little brief letter that my wife wrote home to her parents. January 31, this is 71, one room is in operation. First baby case scheduled next week, remember? 31 January. The next is February 24. First patient in the clinic on Saturday. So this is what my wife wrote. We can learn things. Some say will come, but they don't come. This Paraguay is sort of unpredictable anyway.
Okay, well, thank you very much for all of you for sharing. Just a note on to that about Paraguay being unpredictable. When we opened the clinic up in the back, we right away knew that we wanted to have the ecografia machine. And we started having a whole bunch of ladies coming for doctor's visit, and we were like, wow, this is going to get real busy real quick. Because we always, with each consulta, we gave a free echo with their consulta, because we wanted to make sure the nurses knew what was coming because we were so far back in. And month after month would go by, and very few of the ladies would come when it was time to have the baby, would come, and we just thought, well, maybe it's just hard to get there. It's hard to get there by ox cart, or if you come by ox cart, it's probably shook out by the time it gets there. But after a while, we were just very curious of why we have all these ladies come, they come see the doctor, and they always want the ecografia done. We never printed any of them out, the doctor just looked it on the screen. So I started doing some investigation, and what they wanted to know, the doctor, they would want to do an ecografia every time, and then, every time he'd say, everything is normal and good, and they would go home so happy because they could now have their baby at home. And so it took a while for the first ones to get over it to come to the clinic, which now it's making a difference. But that's interesting that how it kind of started off pretty slow. But they all came for consulta, all wanted the ecografia, but then they all wanted to have their baby at home. Okay, here's some stuff that Laban had put together. There's a letter that he had put. Now, I'm not quite sure that 42 administrators is quite correct. And their wives I'm not quite sure unless I was missing some. But I think most of the rest, 6 doctors who gave their services there, with one being from the States, 106 single ladies, nurses, aides, cooks, helpers, teachers. Some of them went twice. There's a number of you that just AMA kept asking over, can you go serve a couple months, or can you come fill in again? And a lot of you. There's 20 single fellows as maintenance men, ambulance drivers, teachers. 176 persons total, an average of 2 a year each that were given, and 13,826 babies were born there at the clinic in the 42 years, and 82 pairs of twins. So I thought maybe that's something. Okay, is there anyone else here that would like to share something? It's 3 minutes past closing, but if there's someone here that would like to share, if there's anything humorous. One of the things that I remember is Since I grew up in Paraguay, I probably didn't worry, I was probably used to a little bit more of the culture. This lady, she wanted to be transferred. We didn't really worry about it. I took the children along. On the way, she decided to have her baby, and I had Caleb along, and so we were singing Old MacDonald Had a Farm while Louisa was delivering the baby in the back seat. So just some of those things. So yeah, turned around and went home. Baby was born. No need to go any further. Is there anyone else that'd like to add something here? We would have loved to hear from more of you, and I didn't know who to ask or what to do, because I knew time always goes quick. So. Well, you might have favored her pretty close. At that time, everybody looked like Maria, didn't they? Yes.
Could you repeat that a little bit?
Okay, she said that the lady was in labor and she was saying Maria de los Cielos. And after a while she got confused, and when it really got bad, she was saying Sarita de los Cielos. So I don't know if she thought Sarah was causing the problem here or what. But I said probably everybody looked like Maria de los Cielos by that time. Okay, is anyone, Sam, you got something to say since you're a rep from down there? Just maybe you could give a little. Do you have something?
Okay, what I wanted to talk about is David Beachley was the administrator there. David and I, we were close friends. Armada that is there.
Right.
He kind of kept track of things around happening there, and he told us one day that old IDEX, what do you call it?
Iguana.
Iguana is a chicken house. And he said, David said, okay, I'll get my chef. And then we went over there and we stirred him up. He decided to get out of that chicken house as fast as he could. David had his machete up here. He was going to cut that thing in half, and the thing went out, and he struck down. But he only had the tail. And a few days later, that iguana returned again. Didn't have no tail. The tail was gone. I was told that the tail would have been good to eat, but I never got that done.
Anyone else has something you want to share?
Airport, and Don came to pick us up. We had all the ladies on the back of that bus. So cool. And Dad and I came with Don home the rest of them on the bus. We came down the parents, I don't remember how what do you call it,
Ruta 7.
came into La Línea, and we went, at those days we came down from Paul Field. We lived at Paul Ackles for 6 weeks. We came down the field, the rough places, it was dark, we got there. We got up and together to the house. It's so dark in there, I can see that when I stayed there, it was so dark. I told them, well, I kind of like it here, the walls are so
Probably the thing that we appreciate the most of all of our experiences in Paraguay is that we were able to learn another language. That's a blessing. And also that there are different ways of doing things. Anybody else? I'm sure you all would have a bunch of stories to say, and if you have something you'd like to share, go ahead. Then we'll just, Samuel gets done talking here, we'll just kind of close with that.
I just thought it might be proper to just share just a little bit of what is cooking on the clinic home grounds. Where everyone talks about closing and closing down and terminating and things like that, but we that are down there sort of don't feel quite that way. When people talk about, why, I said, well, there's another place that was more needed, which was Belleza, was boosted up. I mean, things were taken back that needed to be done. Needed there. I mean, like the power unit, the motor generator, things like that were all moved back there, which was a very big asset for the Clinica Belleza. And just after we left now, they had a meeting there at the clinic grounds. I mean, it's they're breaking ground to and seriously working toward, and they're working on the paperwork. They founded a little committee now already with its own fund, with its own banking account to get some of the donations in to start with the paperwork of forming a, I don't know for sure if the name is official yet, what they want to call it, but it is a type of a counseling center helping people that have problems, like if there be people that have problems, like it could be just about anything that need counseling. It would be a counseling center, and later on as a place where people that would have maybe addiction problems, things like that. It would be like helping the people spiritually and mentally, and there's a lot of interest in that. There are probably about 6 or 7 churches, or maybe more. There'd be the Summerfield and Berthold, not maybe the old church, but the new church, Tres Palmas, a Baptist church, and then we would have someone on the committee, and to start that up. There's a psychologist, a Christian psychologist working at Luz y Vida that's also on the board, or that's helping with that. So they are very excited about the way the things are there, the way the settings are there, the buildings and everything. We will need major maintenance after a bit, but they are working toward, and they're planning on, they're working toward getting the place ready to open 2015 probably. It will take a while yet. They were talking of sending some of the committee over to Brazil to look at a similar place like this, and to have that place similar to that. The AMA gave the Fundación Luz y Esperanza. Fundación Luz y Esperanza was the legal representation of Clinica Luz y Esperanza, or the AMA in the latter years. So when we needed more and more things represented illegally in Paraguay, there was while Rome was there, I think it was when he was there that the Fundación started, wasn't it? Yeah, when Rome was there, the Fundación started. So a Fundación is a legal non-profit organization, and it's the Fundación Luz y Esperanza. It's our Fundación from our church. And so the Fundación Luz y Esperanza is buying back the property from AMA. AMA gave it on a very, very reasonable price to Fundación, and Fundación is giving a yearly payment to AMA, but the money there cannot come out of the country. It has to stay in the country. So instead of AMA sending money down to Paraguay, then this amount that's given for a yearly payment goes then to the Belleza clinic and is used there on the project in Belleza. So that is So Fundación Luz y Esperanza is buying the properties from AMA and giving donating the money or giving the money back to that. So, and then the Fundación Luz y Esperanza at the same time will be donating the place to this organization, which consists of, it's an interdenominational organization which consists of different churches that will be involved in this project of counseling and helping people that have, at the time it will be probably helping people that will have, that have depression problems and things like that. At the first part, they will not have people admitted at the place yet at first, that they'll sort of start out slow to get the feel of how things are. So that's a little bit how they are. So we're pretty excited. It's a pretty big challenge. It looks like a big project, but we're challenged by what, and also by what the premises can be used and will be used from here on. So that's all I want to share.
Is there something that someone else has something to say?
Pablo, anuncios.
Okay, I think that concludes our program for today. Thank you everyone for coming here. I think everyone enjoyed the day.